It's good to see you all here. Hopefully you all have already arrived at that destination there that I have displayed on the screen. Today is all about Gmail and helping you be more fluent with how the program works. Maybe developing some streamlined workflows and organizing your inbox, getting control of your email, all right, which is a problem some of us have had. All right, so if we look at today's agenda, you can see the things that we're going to be covering. I have some bonus tips there at the end that I'll be showing off. And one word about this presentation that you see, for every topic or bullet point that we go into, there is an icon in the lower left-hand corner. And if you click that icon, and you can go ahead and do that now if you like. If you click that icon, a new tab should open, or go ahead and click on the icon. You should see a link there. Yeah, and then click on that link, and what it's going to do is it's going to take you to the Google support article, which describes the issue that you're having, and it's going to walk you through that. So we have those links for every bullet point that we're going to be discussing today. All right, so this presentation is going to always be accessible to you, and you can go back and refer to it as often as you like. Okay? All right, we're probably going to go till right around 4:30. If we have some questions along the way, which is fine, we may go a little bit past that. All right, so first things first, let's talk about customizing the inbox layout so things are able to be read a little better. Now, I like the split view. I've used that for a while. Whenever I've gone to various teachers to assist them, I notice I don't see split view, and I wonder, how can this be? How can you look at your email and have to click on each message just to see what it is? All right, well, I'm going to show you how to enable that feature right now. So, I have my inbox, and normally I like to be at inbox 0, which is not a myth. You can actually get there. Funny story, and some of you may have heard this, but back when I was in Blount County, I worked with Glenn Vitale. We were both in the county at the same time, in the department together. And we would have competitions to see who could get to inbox 0, which means you have no emails in your inbox. And so to prevent each other from achieving this goal, we would send each other email deliberately when we knew the other person was getting close. Yeah. So it's not a myth. It is attainable, but it's rarely seen. So that was a side note. Back to the topic at hand. Customizing the inbox layout. So here's how you do it. It's very, very simple. You'll notice in the right-hand corner of Gmail, and the way you get to Gmail is very simple. It's mail.google.com, just like every other Google service. Sites.google.com, docs.google.com. You don't have to actually go through the school website to check your email, right? Just you can enter that right there and create yourself a bookmark. And there we are. But if you look for that gear icon, you can see that right there, that little gear icon, all right? And if you click on that, it's going to take you to your settings. Now, Gmail has been getting much better as the years have progressed, and this is one of the newest features that we're seeing, the ability to quickly change common settings. All right, and in this area, if you scroll down, you're going to see right down here where it says reading pane. Now, this is what I normally see, no split. All right, but let me tell you, if you have it set right of inbox, that's going to make it a whole lot easier, because what happens is you don't have to actually double click to open up the email. So I know some of these are going to be from third-party companies, so it's safe to open them. So if I just click on them, I can actually see the contents of the email, of the message. All right, and so that's going to help me save time. If I've got a lot of messages coming in, I can quickly just cycle through them, and you can use your arrow keys up and down to cycle through the messages. All right, so if you're doing that and you can see, okay, I don't need that one, don't need that one, that's going to help you get rid of them very quickly. But you're not able to do that if you're not using that side panel or that split pane view. Okay, and just so you know, that split panel that we see there, that can be adjusted. Now I have my resolution set to be optimal for this presentation in here, so normally I like to have things a little bit smaller, so I have a little bit more play with my windows. But for this, you'll notice if you put your cursor right there on that bar, that's going to allow you to actually resize that pane, just like so.
So do I just push the reload button?
Yeah, yes. So what happens if you change the layout, it's going to have to redraw Gmail. So it's like a refresh.
Okay.
All right? And there you go. Now you have a new way to look at your emails that's much more efficient, in my opinion. All right? All right. Come back here. Communication channels. So, whoops, here we are. Communication channels is a new feature. It hasn't always been here. But you're going to have lots of different ways to communicate via Gmail displayed over in the side panel right here. Now we're at the top level, so we're looking at Gmail. Right? So these are basically different services. And so for email, when it comes to communication, think of email as being formal and structured communication. Formal and structured communication. What we have next is going to be your Google Chat, which can be informal and fast communication, right? Informal and fast, like an instant message. All right? Next one down is going to be Spaces. This is just like chat, although it's going to be more collaborative and dynamic. And then, of course, you have Meet, which is, again, immediate, just like chat, but it's expressive and it's immersive. And it allows you to do things like share screens and see the other person. All right, so Gmail has this ability to allow you to access each of these services right there from within Gmail. And I should say, if you have the Gmail mobile app, all of these are available there as well. So you don't have to have separate installs for Gmail or Chat or Meet. All in one. All right, and you can just switch between them. There's my chats, there's my mail, there's Spaces, and there's Meet. And I can move back and forth very, very easily. Okay, let's continue. Next one is to utilize the side panel apps. Anybody know what I'm talking about here? The side panel apps in Gmail? Tasks? Yes, that would be an example of one of them. Yeah, so over here on the right-hand side, look over here. You see you got these little icons here? These are going to be your panel apps right over here. And that can be collapsed or expanded. If I hide it with that little arrow, that's going to make them go away. I click it again, and now I can see the icons. Well, you can see the top one there. That's for Calendar. Then I've got another one there for Google Keep, Google Tasks. I got my contacts in there. And so what's nice is I don't have to actually go out of Gmail to access some of these things. For example, if I had a email from somebody, and look at this, I've got an email from Beverly Boyd about the AIS dedication ceremony. And so I can see it, first off, remember, because we're looking at split view, and it tells me that on October 17th, 2023, at 4:30, they're going to have the dedication ceremony. So instead of me having to remember all that, open up another tab and go to Calendar and switch back and forth from that tab to the next one, all I have to do is come up here to Calendar. Look at this. And I can go to that day. Let me scroll over just a little bit. So look here, Tuesday, October 17th. So I'm just going to go Tuesday, October 17th. I'm going to change the time here to 4:30. And I'll hit save. Now it's on my calendar. I'm not going to forget about it. Pretty slick, huh?
And will that pop up in your email as a reminder?
It depends on what your settings are. Most events that folks have scheduled on the default setting is to be notified 5 minutes before. So whatever your calendar settings are, it's going to be applied here as well. Okay, so if I click on that right there, look, 5 minutes before, it's going to notify me. But I can also go into calendar. If I opened up another tab and if I wanted to set additional reminders, I can do that as well. All right? That can come in very handy. And you'll see this little icon here, open new tab. So what that will do? Well, that will open up my Google Calendar and it'll take me right there. I mean, they make it so easy to get to the information you want and you need. Okay, look here. Look here. So right here, that little icon right there. Yeah. So if I close out of that and I click on the event here, there it is. Right there. And watch. Boop. Takes me right there to calendar. Pretty sweet. Sounds to me like we're learning a couple things. Very good. All right. Let's move along. Archive versus delete. What's the difference? All right. So, when I'm looking at my messages, I go through them really quickly. And if I decide, you know what, it's not really that important. Well, let me back up and just say this. I mostly archive everything, unless it's something that's annoying, and I'm just maybe it's a vendor I don't care for. I'm going to delete this because I don't want it. In that case, whatever message it is, that email will go to the trash can. It remains in the trash can for 30 days, at which point it's emptied. You can't go back and get it. Now, archive, what happens when we archive an email is it puts it in all mail. Now, you have to understand, what we're looking at right now is our inbox. There's a difference between our inbox and all mail. All mail has everything. All right, so you see over here on the left-hand side, we're looking at all mail when I choose this option. That's everything, including archived messages. Okay? So, if I archive a message, I can always pull it up if I need to. It can be handy, especially if you're trying to find some information that someone sent to you a long time ago. You just do a simple search, which I'll show you how to do, and it will call up any of those hits inside of all mail, and you'll be able to get the info you need. All right. And so how we're going to archive email is just by selecting the image, or the image, not the image, but the message, and then you can choose archive. And if you're at the very top here, you can just keep hitting archive as you go down the list. So notice I have this one selected here from this person. If I choose that one, it's just going to keep going down. And I just go archive, archive, archive.
So if I don't do that, if I click on the search at the top, switch to mail, will it still pull up or no?
Yeah, if you archive them, yes,
What if I don't?
you'll still be able to find them. If you don't archive them,
Correct.
well, they're just going to be in your inbox.
Yeah, but once it's been opened, it's just there.
Yeah, it stays there.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, if you know that you're never going to need it again, you can delete it, which
Right.
in this case, the way you delete the message is you can select and just hit the trash can right here. All right. And you can actually select more than one message at a time, and then you can delete it or archive them altogether.
So really, archiving, it just won't show up there.
Archive takes it out of your inbox so it's not clogging up. Yep. That's all archive does. It removes it from your inbox so you don't have to see it. Yeah, it's like, you're in a classroom, you get all these deliveries. They're just sitting there in your classroom. And maybe you'll go through all of them at some point, but you don't want to throw anything away. You just got a storage closet. You're throwing all of them in there, so now your room is clean. Okay? Everybody understand?
And if you do delete, then in 30 days it will just get rid of it.
That's right.
Do you have to empty a trash can to do that, or it will just automatically?
Yeah, I know that's an automatic thing. Yeah, and at any point,
Trash I don't think, so
yeah,
that's
and
fine.
at any point you can go into your trash and manually empty it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I know this is probably a really stupid question, but the inbox number is what you have not read yet, that's in your inbox. Like say I have like, and I just sort of figured this out today, like it's showing my number is 291, but the inbox is 106.
No.
So
So
I haven't read 106, is that correct?
yeah. So
Inbox, yes.
looking at mine here, I don't have that many messages in my inbox. So right now I'm looking at one of a total of 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the number I was
So I have 7 total messages in my inbox. It's not telling me whether or not they've been read.
Okay.
Yeah, she's talking about labels there, and I'm actually going to cover that. Yeah, so if you wanted to like start right away and get rid of all the messages in your inbox, just archive them, what you would do is you would go to the top here, and you would just select. And that's going to take all the messages on this page, however many pages of messages you have, it's going to select them, and then you can choose archive. Now, this process will actually move quicker if you can set a little preference. This is bonus, what I'm about to show you right here. So if you happen to click on your settings, and then you go to see all settings, watch this. In the first tab here, under General, it says maximum page size. All right, so this is going to be how many conversations am I going to see on the page at once. So I can have up to 100. That means you can select up to 100. All right, you can see it goes down all the way to 10. All right, so that will help you if your goal is to quickly get everything out of your inbox and archived. All right? Okie dokie. All right. Let's go on to the next one. That was archive versus delete. This is a good one. Request, read receipts. This hasn't been around too long. Now, there are third-party apps that allow you to send a message, and it'll notify you as to whether or not the other person, the recipient, has read it. You can actually do this inside of Gmail as well. So how this is going to work is you're going to go to the Compose button right here. All right. You click Compose, and I've already mentioned you once, Beverly. I'm just going to keep using you as my example since you're right there. Okay, Beverly. Uh-oh. All right. Test email. Okay, I hope you read this message. So what you're going to do, down here, the very bottom, the same row that you see the send button, look for this little 3-dot menu there where it says more options. Do you see that? Click that, and notice what we have. Request read receipt. So if I choose that, and then I send this, it's going to send the message, she'll get it, and I'll be notified when she's opened the message.
Do you have to do that on every one?
Yeah. So the response back to you from
That's
Gmail,
what I'm looking for.
yeah, it's not instant. You'll get it
Okay.
eventually. Yeah, it won't happen right away.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So I've got these messages now that just came in, so I'm going to quickly. I'm going to not do that. Oh, there it did come in. Oh, you sent me another one, didn't you? Gigi, you didn't send me another one? Okay.
I just deleted it.
Okay. All right. All right. Let's see. So that's how read receipts work. All right. Oh, this is a good one. Undo send. You send an email and then you realize, oh, rats, I forgot to attach it, or I didn't mean to say that. Okay. So here's what you need to do. We're going to go back to our settings. So in Gmail, look for the gear icon right here. where it says settings. Click on it and then choose see all settings. Okay? See all settings. All right. In the General tab, which is the first one, scroll down just a little bit, you're going to see this option, undo send. Send cancellation period. You can go from 5 to 10 to 20 to 30. 30 is the maximum. Basically what it's going to do is it's going to sit in your inbox. You're going to have a message pop up that says sent mail, and there'll be a button that'll say undo. It'll stay on the screen for 30 seconds. So it's giving you that time to quickly undo it. If you click that and choose undo, it's going to turn it into a draft. And then you can make your changes. All right? But set it on the maximum amount of time. That's what I've done. Undo send. All right. Create message templates. Okay, looks like Beverly's excited about this one. So if you have to communicate with lots of different people, but you find yourself repeating the same message over and over, I mean, it's basically the same text. All right? I suggest creating a template that you can just work from. And, you know, if you need to modify things a little bit, you can. But the bulk of the email is already composed, and you only have to do this once. I've used...
Can I ask you one thing? I just can't get out of the settings for me going back to the...
Well, you have to save. If you scroll all the way up, you'll see like a save button to save your changes. Then once you've saved it, then it will return you to your inbox. All right? And I should have said that before. Whenever you make a change, be sure to save. Yeah. All right, so at any rate, templates are going to help save you a lot of time. All right, so here's what those are going to look like. If you click on Compose, again, we're going to look for our 3 dots here where it says More Options. And if we click that, you're going to see Templates. So I have these templates that I've created already. All right? And so if I wanted to call one of these up, well, if you don't have any, you might have ever used these templates before. You don't have the templates option?
I don't either.
Interesting.
Yeah.
After the...
Okay.
I have the default full screen and then it goes to label.
Okay.
Template.
So what we might be dealing with here is the Google Workspace upgrade, which we have licenses for. So in order for this feature to be enabled, it's a premium feature, and we've paid for lots of licenses. I just have to assign it to your account. All right. So yeah, so all you need to do, just email me after this, send me an email,
Okay.
and I will turn it on for your account.
Template, so the templates.
I'm sorry, one second. What's that?
Templates is what we're emailing you.
Yeah,
For you to set
yeah,
that
set up
for
to,
us.
yeah.
Okay.
Glenda, what did you say?
I said, I've just been using drafts.
Well, you can use drafts. That's another way to do it as well. That's essentially what it is. It's a, it really is. It's a draft. This is, you can label these whatever you want, and so I don't know. I think accessing these and being able to manage them is a little more intuitive and smarter than working with drafts. But whatever works for you. All right. So, example. This one that I use frequently whenever teachers break their computers and I have to put in a ticket to Apple and I don't want to have to retype everything. All right, I just click on that and you can see it's already got the information in there, all the required information that they need from me. I don't have to hunt it and try to insert that. They've got it all, and all I'd have to do is just change maybe 1 or 2 things down here and then send it.
Sorry, can you do that one more time?
Yeah, sure.
Compose, 3 dots, template.
Yep. So we go Compose, click our 3 dots, go up to Templates, and all of your templates that you've already created are going to be right here. All right.
I want to create a new one.
Now, if you want to create a new one, you make your draft here. You put in the subject heading, you enter the message, and then when you come here to templates, you'll have the option to save that draft as a template. And down at the bottom of that list, there it is. Save as new template.
What's the difference between templates and labels?
Okay, a label is going to be a container for folder, kind of like a folder where you organize your incoming messages. Okay, this is just related to outgoing messages that you're composing.
That you're sending?
Yes, that you're sending out.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
All right?
Yes.
And you could name these however you want to name them. You can even attach little emojis to them as well. I've done that for a couple things here. So for apple repair, yeah, I added a little apple there. I'm a visual guy.
And it doesn't matter how long it is. Like,
Well, the title doesn't matter.
No, not the title,
Yeah.
but your message.
Right, yeah, you could it can be pages and pages and pages if you want. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Help yourself. Yeah, help yourself by using these tools. Yeah. All right, this is a great one, and this feature just hit. So, whenever you want to meet with someone, what has been the process? Hey, I need to set up a meeting with this person over here. You email them a time, they get back with you, you respond back, and there's this constant going back and forth trying to find a time where you guys can get together. Look at what they've done here. If you click on Compose, all right, and again, this is going to be one of those features that you might not have right now, all right? So when I get that email message from you, once I turn it on, you'll have this feature as well, all right? So look here, set up a time to meet, built right there into Gmail, okay? So you can create an event here or offer times that you're free. So I'll choose that top option and watch what happens. If I click that, I'm going to pull up my calendar right there on the side. All right, so what I have to do at this point, so if they were hoping to meet me on Tuesday, I can see that, actually, I'm going to go Wednesday. I can see that, like from 12 to 2, I've got a little window. So I just select that. And then I'm going to click next. And then I can add it to the email. And it added, look at that.
Wow. Right? Tom, this has to be the first try.
Now I'm telling you, these features are there. And now you all are aware of them. You need to start using it and telling other people about these features. Because the way we've done things in the past is not the way we need to be doing them now in terms of being efficiency. I'm constantly hearing from teachers, we don't have enough time to do this or that. Yes, you do. You really do, but you got to learn some of these tips and tricks to help you get to that point. And while it might not seem like, well, it's not saving me a ton of time, all these little things that you pick up, they amount to a lot of time, or they can, cumulatively. All right? So I was really excited to see this. And how easy can that be for the recipient here to just, oh, you know what, that works for me, I'm going to click that. And then it puts it in their calendar and yours. It's done. All right. I could probably call it quits on that one and just walk away. And I know we got more stuff for you. All right. That was worth the price of admission. Definitely. All right. Set up meeting times. We just did that one. All right. So, getting organized with labels. All right. So, here we are. And you all are seeing my inbox now. You can see it's a little cluttered. I've got 10 messages in there. So I'm feeling a little anxious right now. I'm going to have to take care of that as soon as this is over. But over here on the left-hand side, you're going to see my organizational structure. And labels, Gmail calls them labels. They're folders, all right? And you can have as many folders as you want to. And if I click more here, we're going to see more content. And there's all of the sorted labels that I've set up. So I have some labels for strictly the ESC, and this is helpful for me too. I've actually color coordinated the folders. They alternate the colors because that differentiates one from another. All right? Again,
One by one?
I had to do that one by one. Now, well, I only had to do that once. All right? Now, there is a way to apply a color to all sub-labels underneath one. So, for example, I have this label here, light blue. And if you click on your three dots here, you can see you can go to label color and you can choose any other color here. And if we did that, let's say I chose orange. All right, only that label or all the sub-labels, all the ones underneath it. It will automatically do that for me. I don't want to do that because I have things exactly the way I want them right now. So I'm going to cancel out of that. All right, so you can see that the labels that are very, very important for me, that I need to see, that I don't want to miss, I have those up there at the very top. And just so you know, Gmail is going to sort your labels alphabetically. However, if you put a special character or an emoji in the very front of the title that you've named the label, it will put that at the top of your label. So you can see I've got here, reach them all. That's for the statewide technology initiative. Incoming messages about that, I want to see. So that's right at the top. And then you can see what some of these others are. All right. And then under sorted, I have different colors there as well, but I have labels and then I have sub-labels. Just like that. Now, how you create a label, it's very simple. You're going to see a plus symbol right over here by labels. Do you see that? You click the plus symbol. All right, it says, please enter a new label name. So I'm going to say Tech Trainings. Now, this is important where it says nest under label. That just means, where are we going to put this? Is it going to be inside or nested inside another label or folder? If that's the case, you check that option and then you find the parent folder. All right, and you just go through your list here and you find it. If you don't check that, it's going to put it right up here at the top. All right, and like I said, you can use emojis or special symbols. All right, so in this case, if I say Tech Training, I want to maybe use a little picture of a computer. So watch how I do that. I'll go to the Edit menu and I'll choose Emojis and Symbols. All right.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. How did you just do that?
Okay.
I didn't see that first.
That's okay. I want it to go before Tech Training, so my cursor is blinking there. I'll click on Edit,
Okay.
Emojis and Symbols. Yeah, and then you can do a search for the emoji. Here it is right here. There's the computer I wanted to use, and it puts it right there. All right? And then when I click Create, there it is, Tech Trainings.
And I was going to ask you how to delete that. I think I just.
Yeah,
So, 'cause when
And
I
you
get
can-
rid of some, is that 3-dot thing too?
yep, you're going to click on that. The 3-dot, that's going to represent options. All right? So if I click on that, you can see I have the option to change the color of that label.
Remove it.
Edit it. All right. That's how we create the labels. All right. Filter messages. What is a filtered message? Anybody know?
Sends it to inbox label. So that
Automatically.
you can see it in your email.
That's right. So if you've created all these labels and you're manually dragging and putting them in there, a filter is going to do this automatically for you as soon as they come in. All right, so here's what that looks like. So for example, if, from Ms. Santos here, if I want to have all the emails that I've ever gotten from her, including the ones I just received, put in a label automatically, here's what I would do. I would select the message, and then I'm going to come over here to the more icon, the 3 dots. And I'm going to choose filter messages like these. Now watch what happens when I choose that option. All right, so from Ms. Santos. All right, so anytime I get an email from her, now I can get very specific here. So this filter could be, it has to meet all these requirements. Right now I've got it sort of wide open. So everything I get from you, it's going to catch. All right, but it doesn't have to be that broad. You can narrow it down. All right. Anything from her, I'm just going to leave it as is. All right.
So you have to have a from or a to. It can't just be on a subject.
No, you can have it be a subject as well.
Anybody that's
Yeah.
related
Yeah.
to this.
Yes. Yeah. You can. All right. So if I hit search. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry. I told you the wrong thing. You're going to go filter messages like these. All right. Then you choose create filter. All right. And then you're going to see this screen. So if you don't want it to come into your inbox, you're going to say skip the inbox. All right. Have you already created a label for this you want it to go in? Yeah, I want to apply the label. So we're just going to choose the label wherever it is. If we haven't created one, we choose new label. And then we, just like before, we title it and we choose where it is it's going to be, whether or not we want it nested. All right? I'm going to say EG. Okay? We'll go have that go right at the top. All right, so it's going to put everything from her there. Now look at what we can do. We can say, you know what, these emails come in, I want them automatically deleted, sent to spam. Yeah. I could have a template all ready to go to send to her if I want to. And all the messages I've already received, if I check that, it's going to scan through everything I've got, apply that filter, and automatically move them in there for me.
So 4.5 years, I've only sent you
79.
That's not bad.
No.
Lucky you.
No. Yeah. That's not bad. All right. So if I choose create filter, before I hit that, I'm going to say, all right, skip the inbox. Yes. Apply the label GG. Okay. 79 conversations. So I'm going to say create the filter. All right. Look, there it is. I'm looking inside everything that label containing everything she sent me.
So now if she sends you something else, will you see it in your inbox? Or
No, because I chose
go
skip
right
the
away?
inbox.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Yep. If she sent me something right now, I wouldn't see it in my inbox.
But does it notify you in any way that you've received something?
Now here's the deal. Yeah. So that's why if you create filters, especially very important ones, you're going to want to, for me, visually, have them be somewhere up at the top here. Or you could say, I don't want it to skip the inbox. Because if they're coming to the inbox, chances are you're going to see it.
Right.
All right? So that's going to be up to you to decide how you want Gmail to handle it. There is a risk if you apply a filter that, unless you're diligent about going through these,
And you won't see it.
that you won't see it.
Yeah.
Now, I will say that if you get an unread message, anytime you have an unread message in one of your labels over here, it'll be bold. That means there's something in there that hasn't been read.
Like there's 22 that you haven't read of mine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, okay. And so, well, some of these are responses, yeah. And so anything that was sent out to an email list that you might be on, it'll catch everything. All right, so if you sent it to all the ESC, I'm part of that. So I would see an email message from her, even though it might not specifically apply to me. That's why those are sitting in there. Okay? Make sense? Okay. All right. Mute and snooze messages. I'm going to go through these really quick here. This is great. And before I actually show this tip, let me say one thing. All right? Listen carefully. Do we understand the difference between reply and reply all?
Yes.
Okay. Don't reply all. Okay? Reply all unless there is something pertinent that everybody in the group that was sent the email message originally needs to have that information. And most of the time I see a reply it's like it's not necessary. They're responding to that one person, but you have to go out of your way to choose reply all. All right, so it's a deliberate action.
Gives you just reply first,
Right, right.
that
So
you
if
take
you're
that-
if you're
so-
replying, then you want everybody to see this message you're sending to this person. If you ever do a search for email etiquette or do's and don'ts in the workplace, this is normally at the top of that list. All right, so just keep that in mind. All right, so back to mute and snooze messages. So, all right, so this one from Shutterstock here. Right-clicking on the message, in my case, it's going to be Control-click. If you choose snooze, that's just like you would expect when you hit the snooze on your alarm clock. It puts it away, only to return a few minutes later. All right? So if I chose snooze, it's going to say snooze until later today, tomorrow, this week, next week, or you can pick the date and time. Doesn't delete it, it just removes it temporarily to bring it back later. Okay? That's also useful if you know what, I'm not going to have time this week to focus on this, but I know next week. So you say, return to my inbox next week and I'll see it. Right? That's a good use of snooze. All right? The other one here, mute. Yeah, and this is when you're having to deal with reply to all messages and you keep seeing all these coming and you're like, stop replying to all. All right, so how do you go back to the first message you got and you choose mute. You're not going to hear anything more. It's not going to notify you. You've shut it up. Okay. Yeah. We're running slightly over here. That's okay. I'm going to continue to move quickly. Choose that option. That'll help you out. Real quickly, schedule send mail. This is useful. All right. So if you want to send out, this is usually the emails that I've sent out about this particular class. I composed before, and I said I want them to go out this time on this date. And you set it and you forget it, basically. So you click compose. All right. We're sending everything to Beverly Boyd. Schedule mail. All right. There's my very important message to her. Now look here. Right beside send, there's this pull down and it says schedule send. All right. If I choose that, tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, or you can pick the date and time. All right, I'm going to say I want this to go out tomorrow at 6 o'clock a.m. So she thinks I'm up working early. I'm not. I'll have her fooled. I'll say schedule send. All right. And there we go. It'll send out at that time. Now notice what happened over here on the left-hand side. I've got a new option that says scheduled. So anything I have scheduled, I can get in there. I can see them. If I click on it, I can cancel that right there. All right. Last two things, set up your signatures and set up vacation responder. That's always something that you'll want to do. Click on your settings and then go to all settings. And down at the very bottom, or close to the bottom, you'll see the signature area. And you can create all kinds of different signatures here. I've got lots of them set up. One might say I have too much time on my hands where I can create some of these things. But depending on the mood I'm in, I even have an America one here. I use that on the 4th of July. You could send these out. And so basically the signature is going to be attached to every email that you send. All right? And so if you don't have a signature, go ahead and create a new one. And you'll definitely want to include information about yourself, your job title, and then you can put other links in there as well. I have a whole nother workshop I do on how to create really snazzy looking signatures that have links and graphics. If you're interested in some of that, I can share that out as well. But these are not hard to create. In fact, it's done with Google Docs and it's a simple copy paste over. All right. And last thing, vacation responder. That's in the same area here in general settings. You can say when your first day is going to be and your last day. Give it a subject heading. Enter your text there. And it will expire after the last day. So I had this set to October 9th. On the 10th, the autoresponder was turned off. Okay. All right. We have to get credit for this, but I wanted to address a quick question from, I can't remember who asked me the question about searching for emails and finding them. Was it you, Glenda? Okay. Yeah. So if you are looking for an email, you'll see the search field right up here. If you click inside there, you can, if you happen to know the subject or content or maybe who it's from, you can start typing, but you can get really specific by clicking on the gear icon here. See there, you can say from, to, has the words, search, all mail. You want to make sure you have that so it's not just searching your inbox. Okay? So take advantage of that. And that was it. All right. Folks, I am really glad you all came. At the very end of this presentation, you'll see we have some links to resources here that will help you. And this last slide, if you click on that link, that will take you to a form that I need you to fill out. It'll look just like this. Enter your information. The session title for today was Gmail Best Practices. Enter your name as you would like it to appear on your certificate. And after about a minute of submitting this form, you'll receive a PDF certificate in your inbox that'll have your name on it with 1 hour of in-service credit. Any folks out there who have viewed this, who have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, tlarson@alcoaschools.net.